Yeah. So I said it's a shame that the Expo one's not 30.
Just throat cleared, bro.
All you motherfuckers, vote for fuckers.
Hey! Welcome back to episode 30 of the Uncleanables Podcast. We are 1 week post Cleaning Expo. That has been an incredible video for us on the channel. Absolutely over the moon with the
Oh, it was a great day.
Great day. Absolutely brilliant. My microphone is on its last life because we didn't charge him up, or I didn't press the button. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But if my audio cuts out, I'll probably just go sit on Dan's lap or something.
They won't miss much anyway.
No.
You're just for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah, because I'm beautiful.
Exactly. That,
Yeah,
You're the pretty one of the group.
Boy.
You're the pretty one of the group. So anyway, we're just gonna have a little recap about the. You're just gonna have a little recap of the Expo, and then just have a bit of a chat and then get into it.
Yeah, we have got a topic for today, which I've already forgotten.
You had a couple.
Yeah, so
Getting customers for window cleaners.
obviously people will know what it is because they've read the title of the video. So yeah, today's topic is going to be all about getting customers. There's a little story that I've got and some other stuff. Keeping busy.
Why do we do this every week?
I don't know, we need to be better prepared, don't we? It's the top one in bold, like can't miss
Right,
it.
so it's getting customers.
Yeah, no, but the next bit is the story that I'm going to tell.
Yeah, customers moving house, keeping up with work. Yeah?
Yeah, it's getting customers. The title's going to be
All right, yeah.
how to get customers.
All right, nice one. Super.
Yeah.
Right, so going back to the Expo, I thought it was a fantastic success.
Yeah, over the moon.
We had,
over the moon.
yeah, thanks to everyone that come over to us and chatted and that and done interviews. We
We have got to say a special thank you, haven't we?
we do have to say a very special thank you to
Go on, don't forget his name, bruv.
Matt.
No!
Mike Sutton in Southampton. No, I listened to the podcast and I got his name. It's Mike. It's Mike from Southampton.
Definitely Mike.
And it's Wash Fix. Thank you, Mike, because Mike listened to our podcast on the way up here about interrupting, and he's actually gone out and bought us a tally counter.
So we can tally against who.
So how?
But we are getting better.
Right. So straight away.
Suck your mum, yeah?
Straight away you're on one.
Is the
Right.
game? Is the game to see who can score the highest?
No. What it is it goes
What is
up. Two. It goes up and it
What,
goes
does it go up
down.
or down?
No. So you're on
Wait,
two.
there's this thing that I
Mate,
come out
you're
with.
right. You're on three. So what that means is right.
How do I score my one?
Right. So you click negative for me.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if it finishes on a positive, that means you lose. If it finishes on a negative, it means I lose.
So I ain't got to try and score the highest points.
No.
Interrupt you as much as I can.
No.
We are getting good at it though.
Are you getting good
Well,
at it?
apparently, right, to be good at something like social video and that, 100 episodes.
Yeah.
Once we get 100 episodes, we're going to be awesome.
Yeah,
That's what I've been told.
Yeah, we should be we should be unreal. So, but anyway, Expo was thanks to everyone that come out and joined and done interviews. It was. I'll tell you a couple of good takeaways I had from it.
Go on.
I had a Chinese and an Indian. No, a couple of good takeaways I had from it, which was interesting because when we watched it back, obviously we obviously looked at the footage and all the rest of it. I found that the majority of people, had only started business in the last 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also the age range.
Yeah.
They're all very. I mean, apart from let's say the YouTubers, the majority of people are like a 40-year-old bracket, aren't they? It's quite interesting as well because there was no one really there that have turned around and said, "Yeah, I've been in the industry 22 years."
No.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is weird. I thought that with, and I think it's partially due to COVID.
Yeah.
People found themselves either out of work or no work.
Yeah.
And thought, what can I do? And thought, well, window cleaners. I think the Boris Johnson at the time actually specifically said in one of his speeches that if you're a window cleaner, crack on.
Yeah.
Carry on going to work.
That makes sense.
Not in so many words, but.
Go on, lads, get out there, get the bag in.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
He was like, how are you going to pay for your fucking coke habit if you don't go to work?
I think it's interesting, but also there's probably something needs to be worked out there, and I can't seem to work it out. Do you see what I mean?
What I took away from the Expo was how many people didn't drink.
Yeah,
I asked the question, pub at beer at home.
You've done that there as well.
So many times.
You've done that there as well.
Beer at the pub or beer at home. and how many people said they don't drink.
Yeah, but then I must say, do you reckon it's because all window cleaners are just a load of degenerates? That just all degenerates,
we've had to cut it out because we can't be
absolutely. Do you reckon?
No, I think there's two reasons I think it is. Firstly, external cleaning, we're in vans all day, so you can't really get slaughtered the day before because your livelihood. No, but even 4 or 5 drinks the night before, you would be over the limit in the morning. And if you got pulled over, that's your job, that's your livelihood ended, right? First and foremost. And secondly, there's a high statistic. I mentioned this a couple of times on the Expo video. There's a high statistic of entrepreneurs, business owners that don't drink.
Right.
And I haven't looked into it enough to work out where the
Colorado. Is that where you're going?
I'm having a mare, and
you're going on your holidays, big man.
Coloration.
Correlation.
Yeah, right. You can be like my helper. In school when they have the special ed kids.
Mate, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change.
I have to keep the pencils and crayons away from you. I don't know where the correlation comes from, but it's a high percentage of business owners that don't drink. We all love coke and heroin. But
it's everything else, isn't it?
It's the drink.
We should have asked about fentanyl. That's what we should have done.
Jake liked fentanyl. He said, I said, I don't know if you saw it.
No.
When I interviewed Jake, and I said, like, beer at the pub or beer at home. He was like, I don't actually drink. I said, yeah, but you love heroin, didn't you? He went, at least a little bit of Fenty.
But no, it's good. It was interesting as well talking to Darren from PWS. I thought that interview was incredible.
Really good.
Yeah, I was really, really pleased with that interview. And also as well, the just what's to offer. Like, a lot of people just think, pressure washing is just like, you just pull up and there's an engine attached to a pump and on you go. Mate, it's giant, isn't it? Yeah. There's so much in there. And I know obviously an Expo is completely for that sole purpose. But in terms of different pressure, in terms of different pressures, in terms of different machines, etc., and what they do, soft wash. I mean, some guys had an air roof system.
It's a fairly new thing, I think.
Yeah. I don't know why he didn't want to jump on the podcast.
Yeah, we tried to talk to the guy from Airpole.
Yeah.
And then I said to Dan, I'm going to fucking slate him because he will come on the podcast. But we just wanted him to explain the system as a salesman of his business, and he just wasn't interested. So if you're thinking of getting an Airpole, go to Marshall because that guy was a prick. and we get 1,000 listens a week to this podcast now, right? We are fucking movers and shakers. So don't piss us off, yeah? Yeah, fuck your business up.
I'll be honest, I was a little bit shocked. I was a little bit shocked he didn't want to get on. But listen, it's not for everyone.
Mate, if you're trying to sell a product at an expo...
I was confused. I was like, bro, you're there to make money. Like, we're giving you a platform to do that.
Mate, I was thinking of talking to Mark Monroe, who puts on the expo, about doing a keynote speech at next year's one.
Yeah?
I'll stand in front of everyone and say, like, I'm glad you're here to see me. I'm the best.
Beer at the pub or beer at home?
Pub at the beer.
Anyone want to go to Colorado? What's that, Morse code?
Yeah, exactly. No, I'll probably practice a little bit first, so I wouldn't fuck up as much. But
let's hope so, mate.
But I was thinking it would be a brilliant idea. So not just for me, obviously, but for Darren, for example,
he could get out there.
Could speak about,
growth
movement in the industry and stuff, or... in fact, there's another Darren, Asbro DA Components. So I bought one of his brushes. So he's designed and made those brushes. So he could talk about stuff like that. And I think it would be a great little addition.
Yeah.
I also think they should do that expo twice a year. I think once a year is not enough.
I think as well, in terms of growth, and I know it sounds silly, in terms of growth as in new ideas coming out in bits and pieces, I think there's also a lot to be done. Do you agree?
To an extent, I think there's an exciting prospect for stuff new to come out, but none of it's broken, if that makes sense. Like, the pressure washer does the job. You're only improving something that's not broken. You're not fixing something that's broken.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So innovation in this industry isn't. It's not like we're all sitting here going, mate, fucking. Water-fed pole cleaning is brilliant, but all the poles keep snapping. We need someone to design one with a steel bar through the middle or something.
No, I get that entirely. But who's the fella that handed out the pink jelly stuff, the stinky pinky?
GK Pro, yeah.
GK Pro. If they're watching this, they have chemicals, and some of them are when the little samples they gave out I thought that was
I use mine. You use
incredible.
yours.
Yeah, I use that Stinky Pinky.
Yeah.
It's for getting rust off of. If anyone's listening, it's for getting rust off of rust stains off of patios and driveways and things like that.
Works.
And it's Stinky Pinky. So when you open it, it smells like an egg bomb.
Yeah, it's
Do you
horrible.
remember the old bombs,
Yeah,
the stink
yeah.
bombs? I done it in my room, didn't I? Like an idiot, like an absolute fool. And I was
Blame
like,
the dog, mate. Blame the dog.
So yeah, but it's in terms like that. That's what I mean. And then there was another person there that had a forgive me, I've forgotten the name. And they had a drain cleaning van, but obviously it was pressure washer related. And the setup was £5,000 plus VAT, and it was everything. I know it's a little bit off topic, but it was everything you needed to go out and start earning.
Well, it's not off topic.
And it was,
podcast.
and I just thought to myself, like, you're really starting to really dial in now.
Yeah.
You're not just unloading a van of all odds and sods. Now it's all built in, and now it's all like so shiny and clean.
What
I
I never thought to saw at the Cleaning Expo was the bin cleaning.
That was a real interesting concept.
I know a couple of companies around here that do bin cleaning, and they charge like £4 or £5 a bin,
Yeah.
or whatever. I think it might, some places even less than that. There was a guy on the podcast I listened to who was charging £8 for the first clean and then £5.50 for every clean there on after. And he had like 5,000 customers, or no, 1,000 customers. So he was making like £5.5 a month.
Is it monthly or bin clean?
Yeah, done monthly. But I thought, fuck me, 1,000 customers for £5,000 a month.
And in an industry you wouldn't really think it would need it.
No.
Like to be real, I don't really think residential bins need it as much because everything goes in sacks and goes in. If you really want to tackle the big red bins or the big blue ones outside the takeaways.
This bloke that was on the podcast, he does them as well.
Yeah, they need it.
But you'd be surprised. I think certain people don't bag their rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I move a lot of bins because cleaning patios and driveways.
And they're not bagging their rubbish?
No, and they fucking stink.
That's just like some serial killer.
But like, it's like anything, innit? Like window cleaning. So I cleaned your mum's windows once, and then I don't think she had them cleaned until they needed cleaning.
Yeah, she don't.
If you have the windows cleaned every month,
you won't need it as much.
They stay clean.
Yeah.
It's not like the bin will stay clean.
Yeah.
It won't get smelly. It won't get mucky. It won't get
great.
mouldy.
Yeah.
It stays clean.
No, I get you.
But other than that, I think the Expo was a great success.
No, Expo was a great success.
Great success.
I was really pleased. I couldn't believe how many people come up to us.
Yeah,
to us.
Right, within the first 5 minutes we had someone, didn't we?
No, it was good stuff. It was
incredible. And
good stuff.
then we had that other bloke after we spoke to Mike, I think, and he was
we had another bloke come over to us.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
that was fucking quality.
Yeah, it was quality. It was good seeing them all. Right, come on today's topic. Let's go.
I feel like a proper celebrity.
Oh, did you know one last thing that I didn't disclose before? The Thursday before Expo, I managed to get driven into again.
In the exact same method of...
So someone hit me in February and drove into my van, and then they gave me a courtesy van, and then a couple of literally about 4 days before Expo, someone done exactly the same thing, and he drove straight into the back of me when I was standstill, and he pushed me into another car.
Yeah.
And it was horrific. I was dosed up on ibuprofen and paracetamol all day. My shoulders was killing me, but yeah, mate. And then what was the news you had? We had news about one of your customers.
Oh yeah, mate, Doreen. Bless her. Anyone who watches my videos on YouTube might have seen a video I done just before Christmas, and she's been on the channel twice actually. And she sealed her driveway every 3 months. So instead of cleaning it, she used sealant. So she sealed the driveway.
What did it look like? Glass.
It was like glass. Yeah.
It was insane.
And she decided it got so thick that it had removed all the colour. So what we would do is we were cleaning it every 6 months to remove the sealant. She didn't want to pay for the stripper. And I said he's dressed as a policeman, like. She weren't interested. No, and I said, like, I don't know how many coats the stripper is going to take. So I said, we can clean it every 6 months, and at least then it's going to stay clean and whatnot. And she passed away. I was due to visit her next Thursday. I dropped her a text message. And she was in good spirits, man.
I liked her. She was a good old girl.
She was driving. She drove. She was going out all the time.
I've still got her biscuits she gave me for Christmas. She gave me a big tub of biscuits for Christmas, and I've still got them on my side. Doreen.
Yeah, bless her. R.I.P. We're going to pour one up, light one up for her
Mate, 2024 is a joke. 2024 should have the intro music to Pornhub, mate, because everyone has been getting their cheeks clapped this year. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It has been bad. But then I think every year's like this, but as we get older, we'll know more people that die.
Did you ever remember 2016, yeah?
Yeah.
That was the year, it will always be in my head, right? 2016, apart from obviously that's when my old man died, but it will always be in my head because for like the whole year, we lost so many celebrities.
Yeah,
Did you remember that?
Yeah.
It started off, Muhammad Ali died, and then like, David Bowie.
It was like one a month, wasn't it?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then who died?
Big celebrities, wasn't it?
Mate, and then the worst one, Christmas Day, George Michael. It was insane, mate. It was ridiculous.
You liked George Michael, didn't you?
Mate.
He was like your icon.
He was.
Yeah.
I think you're amazing.
Coming out like that, so brave, isn't it? You should do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he's my role model.
Right, guys, let's crack on with
Let's go.
Episode getting customers. I've seen on Facebook this week, which is the reason for the episode, that there was two sides of the spectrum. I see one guy who claimed to have 500.
That's us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Both sides of the spectrum.
At the end of the episode, we're going to do an autism test to see
Yeah.
if we're on the spectrum. Because we joke about it a lot, but like,
I hope one of us is, otherwise we're going to get cancelled.
I've got autism one and ADHD one. So
Oh, sweet.
I think between the two, we'll definitely bullseye one of them.
We're going to win both of them.
Yeah.
Flawless victory.
And then we
mate.
can probably get like a blue badge or something.
Yeah.
Special parking and stuff. Right, yeah, I see one guy who claimed to have 500 customers, right? And his issue was he couldn't keep up with them because he kept having days off because he worked in, like, because it was raining or whatever. Like a pussy. And then on the other side of the spectrum, which is I think where a lot of people will fall, is they don't have enough customers to warrant.
Can we just elaborate on 500 customers?
Yeah.
Right? He's got 500 and he can't keep up with it, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that is screaming to get someone to help
Yeah,
you, right?
absolutely.
So how much is an average window clean?
Well, for me it's 20 quid, but if you're traditional and up north, it's like 4 quid a house.
Right, so let's say he's at a tenner.
Yeah.
So even at a tenner, it's £5 a month.
Yeah.
It's £1,250 a week.
Yeah, you just pay someone when you... No, but his issue was that like it had been so wet
Yeah.
that he don't want to get his hair wet or something, I don't know. He
But
don't
you
want to
can
work
clean
in
windows
the
in
rain.
the wet.
Yeah, of course you can. The windows are going to be wet if it's raining. All you're doing is cleaning them.
Surely it's
They're
the
gonna be
wind you
wet
can't do
anyway.
it in because it just blows all the dust on it.
Yeah, I think... I see a couple of guys comment on that particular post and they were like, we tell our customers when we take them on that we clean come rain, come
Regardless,
shine,
yeah.
because we've got bills to pay. If we have a month of rain, I can't not work.
Yeah, totally.
Like, who's going to feed my kids? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not, you know, you can't do that. So I'm fortunate enough to, if it is bad, I can skip a day. I'll make it work, but I would no way skip more than one day.
Yeah.
If you don't want your windows cleaned in the rain, you can skip the month.
So what's he going to do? Cut down customers or jack it all in?
He was talking about selling 300 customers, keeping 200 and just
managing that.
managing 200, which is fine if that's what you want to do. But I think what you've said is hit the nail on the head. You should be looking at taking someone on.
You're flashing.
It's been flashing since we started.
He should. Yeah, he should be. He should be. It's a nice problem to have for him. Agreed. But how is he not already at the point of
I
having
think
someone with him?
almost don't deserve 500 customers.
Why?
Like, how's he got to the point of getting 500 customers when rain is tripping him up?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, how's he got there in the first place?
Yeah. Like he would have
Like-
been counted that on like even with 10 customers.
100 customers.
Yeah, agreed.
But I've got 140 customers.
Yeah.
And you know, if it rained for like 4 or 5 days and I didn't go to work,
You ain't catching up on that, are you?
I would, but I'd be stressed.
Yeah.
So like when he got to 200 customers, like his world must have fallen apart because it rains like 8 months of the year.
Yeah, especially in the UK.
Yeah. So I'm not sure about that one.
That's
but
one side of the spectrum.
The other side of the spectrum is where I think a lot of our listeners are going to fall because there's been a huge influx into the cleaning industry, I think, over the last 3 years, where we see a lot of people have started up. And a lot of people do window cleaning, which is quite regular, and then add other services on. And then the other side of them, they don't want to do window cleaning because it's fucking horrible sometimes. And they just want to do like the one-off services, pressure washing, gutter clearing, which takes a lot longer to get consistent because people have you yearly or bi-yearly sometimes. And for those people, a lot of them have reached out to me specifically, and I know I see a lot of them on sort of Jake Smout's group as well, and they say, like, how do you get more customers? How are you getting customers? I spoke to a fellow in Jake's Discord group about his Google ads that he was running, and I don't know how he'd managed it, but I think he'd got it down to like 71p a click, which is insane, because when I was doing it, it was like £15. It was £15 a lead. I think I was paying about 4 or 5 quid a click, but by the time it was like 3 clicks before someone converted. 15 quid a lead. So I don't know what his lead price was, but his click price was like 71 pence. And he was closing work. He was getting a lot of work off that. But a lot of people don't want to spend money on marketing.
Yeah, great.
Like, I know you don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's just obviously I've got a box very clever as and when the money comes in.
No, this is it. It's uncharted territory for you. You don't know what's going to work, so you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And you haven't got an influx of cash to go, right, we'll just throw £1,000 there and see what happens.
Oh yeah, if money weren't an option, obviously, advertising would be up there, but you know what I mean?
But I think for some people, even if the money was there, they still wouldn't do it.
Yeah, if you're going on holiday over and above advertising for your business, then yeah, bro, you need to have a chat with yourself. But it's like, if it's, I mean, I have advertised. Like I said, I was running adverts once a month on Facebook, all of the summer. But anyway,
and we're going to go deeper into where you should put your money in marketing in a later episode that we've planned out earlier today. But what I wanted to talk about was, like, when you first start up, not everyone's got the money to sort of go, oh, should I put money here? Should I put money there? Should I do this? Should I do check a trade? Should I do Facebook ads? Should I do Google ads? And people forget that, I think, if you're, and it is very specific to what you're choosing to be your main service. But if your main service is going to be window cleaning or pressure washing, I think knocking on the door when you're first starting up. I mean, I never done it, but I've got the experience of
door knocking.
No, I've got the experience of marketing, so
right,
I knew where to put my money to make it work in the first place. But if you're not, if you're not willing to do that, or you haven't got someone who can give you the advice, I strongly believe.
I'm going on my phone because there's a very good statistic on this.
Yeah.
Go on.
If you knocked on 100, so if you walked the streets one day, right, and you found 100 houses that had dirty driveways, and you didn't choose the ones that were like horrendously dirty, because generally they don't care about having their driveway cleaned.
Yeah.
And you didn't choose the ones that were like, look like they've been done.
Didn't look like they've been done. Give me your blower. Because you've got signal and I struggle with signal. Sorry, lads.
We get the same signal.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's just shitty in the building. Where was I? Fucking beat my beeper, you dickhead.
No. Right, that's it. No, you're talking about don't knock on the doors where they're absolutely filthy.
Yeah, if you chose the ones that...
Geezer, you're right. It was like 3 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, I was on a roll, man. I was on a roll. If you didn't choose the ones that are horrendously dirty, and you didn't choose the ones that were looked like they might have been done last year, and you just went for like a medium dirty, if you knocked on 100 of those in a day, which I think is doable, if you walked through a few streets, I
you
think
are definitely closing
3 or 4 jobs minimum.
Yeah.
Nice leaflet in your uniform.
Yeah.
Nice 2-sided leaflet, or even a folded leaflet, which is like what I've got, fucking the nuts, mate. And you went, here's like, I've noticed your driveway. We do this. I can give you a price now. Here's a leaflet with all our other services. We don't like to put anyone under pressure. Do with it as you will. I think 3 or 4 of them would say, yeah, book me in. I've been thinking about having it done. And you'd probably follow up with another 3 or 4 or phone calls, or if you'd done like gutter clearing as well and it was on the leaflet. I feel like I lost you there.
No, you didn't. It's a very good way. I've always been a good advocate of door-to-door sales, yeah. And the reason is when I started in the estate agent industry, maybe it was a bit of an interesting one, because I think it was kind of ran by a very bad person, the industry, when I first started.
Yeah.
However, one of the fellas that I met there was very good at his job, right? So he said, right, go out. I mean, listen, I just walked in the door and he's like, right, you need to learn the difference between this and that and this and that and this and that. And I was like, all right. And then he just disappeared on appointments or going down the pub. I don't know what he'd done. And then he just left us to our own devices, right? Everyone loved it. I didn't. I was there to learn. I wanted to get on, but they didn't. Yes? And I was sitting there and I had the ump. So this other geezer he brought in to manage the branch, he knew it was a sinking ship. So me and him kind of paired up and we become pals, right? He was a lot older than me. I was like 21, 22. He was in his like 40s or 50s.
Is this Hamlet?
Yeah.
Talking about, yeah, I know.
So then he educated
I was there
me.
Before you, wasn't
yeah,
I?
exactly, right? It was a sinking ship. So he turned and said, look, I'm going to show you the right way of doing it. He went, come on, we'll go out and do it. And he'd done it, right?
Is that the fella from Reading you're talking about?
No, the fella from Upsticks. His name was Gary.
Oh, right, yeah.
So anyway, and he was dynamite. And we went out and we learned, and we're still pals to this day. And he's like, he helps me out with a few bits I need help with property-wise. And he said, right, when you're knocking on the door and all the rest of it, you say this, you don't say that, you do this, you don't do that. Do you know what I mean? And he really did educate me, and it was fantastic. And some of the, mate, honestly, it was so interesting when you knock on people's doors, right? Because a lot of people suffer from social anxiety.
Yeah.
You get over that. You have to get over that.
Yeah.
You ain't going to chap someone's door and he opens it and he goes, what do you want? You go, you're gone, geese.
After the first few you've worked,
Yeah.
what are you going to say?
Of course you do.
15 or 20 no's and you don't care about a no.
Exactly that. And it's good to obviously learn about rejection, which a lot of people don't get now. And then bits and pieces. And it slowly snowballed on. And to the point now, I'm not worried at all. Do you know what I mean?
Did you, like, so I worked at that estate agency and I left to start my last business. And that's when Dan joined. Which we didn't know each other then. It was just a funny coincidence. And he used to send us door knocking before, and that area was pretty rough that we worked in. Did you ever? I had a couple of times where people like would get physical with you at the door.
Physical?
Yeah.
No, I never got physical.
I got grabbed once.
Did you?
Like, can you not read the fucking sign? And I'm like, mate.
Are you knocking on a door that says no door-to-door salesman?
Well, I didn't see that sign.
Oh, mate.
But it's still a bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
Mate, imagine getting G-checked at someone's front door and then you have to walk up the driveway.
Yeah, and then like there'd be ones with no stickers, like blatantly no stickers, and all I was doing was delivering leaflets. Like, we used to print off those like typed letters.
Yeah.
And fold them up and then deliver them through the doors.
Yeah.
Like, we've sold a house in your area.
Yeah.
And you'd put it through the door, and I'd be chased down the road, throwing it back at me.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want your fucking letter.
Yeah, that's South End though for you.
Yeah,
South End.
There's no sign on your door, because I'd learned my lesson after that.
But I think, going back to it, door-to-door salesman, you're off.
Well, I'm out, blood. Let me sit on your lap.
He's out of the game. But no, right, I'll hold this one. So...
Move your head closer, yeah?
No, so going back to the experience and bits and pieces, when you're there and when you're in front of them, it's funny because this next fact backs me up. You're there and they can see if they actually want to do business with you.
Yeah, let's do it like a talking stick, like we're in nursery. Like,
because they're actually...
You can only talk when you're holding the stick.
Because they're actually right in front of you. Right, so I'm going to give you some statistics now. Door-to-door sales people make 1 billion visits a year to American homes.
It's huge in America.
It's huge in America. Despite the rise in e-commerce, 20% of American customers still purchase through door-to-door sales, right? How about this one? Well, this one's all right. Door-to-door sellers need approximately 50 leads to close. Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
Let me say something.
Hang on.
You got it.
Door-to-door sellers need approximately 50 leads to close 2 sales, right? I just had a phenomenal one. Around 5% of all sales in Belgium are made through door-to-door sales.
That's mental.
Do you see what I mean?
Right, good statistics, right? So that means 2 in 100 you will close on average. They need 50 sales to make 50 door knocks, right? So 2 in 100, right? If in America, where everyone's got a fucking gun, if they're still knocking on doors, you guys can do it.
That's very true.
100%. And there was that same podcast, the guy with the bin cleaning company.
Yeah.
He got all 1,000 of those customers from knocking on doors.
Yeah.
So he'd go and clean a bin, and then he'd knock on the 5 doors.
Yeah.
He'd say, look, we just cleaned next door's bin. Do you want yours cleaned? And he's got 1,000 customers off of that. Now, apply that to 20 quid window clean. I mean, you could do 1,000 a month. You'd have to have a couple of staff, I reckon, and a couple of vans, but 20 G's a month, man.
Mate, and for the want of just walking up someone's driveway and knocking on the door, I mean, if you was to, you ain't got to go out and do the whole street, but another business I worked with before was like rubbish clearance, and while you're there, if you just do 3 doors that way and 3 doors that day and the 6 opposite, you've then encapsulate. You know what I mean?
And they can all see what, like they would have seen that rubbish.
Yeah.
They would have seen. They would have seen that rubbish.
Yeah.
And then seen it gone. Mm-hmm. So they would have known you've been.
Exactly.
You're like the Batman.
Exactly that.
Clearance.
Well, totally. And also as well, don't forget you're building it up over time. So don't take obviously mate, you got me. Don't take the Colorado. Don't take the statistics on. I.e., I've done 4 jobs this month, right? And then flip it on its head. If you're chapping 6 extra doors a month from every job, right? So say you have like 3 jobs a day for a week, right? So now you've got 6 times 15. You've got 90 interactions. Yeah, you got 12 more interactions. I mean, a lot of them won't open up the doors, but you're actually face to face with people, giving them a card, and they're away.
Yeah, if they don't answer the door, you can always just get some nice like leaflets and leave a little blank space at the top, and have it say, "Hi, we just cleaned number," and write the number you've cleaned.
Yeah.
And it says like, you can see what we've done. If you think you'd want yours done too, just give us a call.
Do you ever like spray aftershave on the brochures?
Yeah.
I just
on my balls.
Do you ever sometimes shoot a little you up to all your customers at 2:30 in the morning? Thinking about your gutters, big man.
But yeah, it's pretty easy as long as you're willing to do the work.
And also, I don't think you can ever stop getting new customers. Like I've done it before. Everyone's guilty of it. You get on a bit of a good run, and then you take your foot off the gas. Yeah. And that is the worst thing you can do.
You get complacent.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So like you'll have a good week, yeah, and then you'll have all of a sudden your phone starts ringing, and because this week's busy, you can't take any more work on. So then you're booking it all into next week, and you think, I'm on a roll, mate. You know what I mean? I'm banged out for the next 10 days.
It's similar to the conversation I had with Jay when he was on the podcast, and a lot of his work comes from recommendation. Mm-hmm. So I said, like, once that recommendation line breaks down, so eventually someone doesn't do recommendations or doesn't have any other mates, or you've gone round the friend circle. So what happens then if you're not doing any marketing, if you're not door knocking or dropping leaflets at jobs that you've been to?
Yeah, totally.
What happens at that point? And like, the reason I still have Check Trade and Google Ads and all that running, even when I'm busy like I am now, and if they don't want to book in 6 to 8 weeks from now, then fine, we keep it running, because in 6 to 8 weeks, if I stop marketing now, if I turn it all off, in 6 to 8 weeks, I have no work left.
It literally is like that, yeah. It will dry up.
Middle of summer and I'll have no work.
Yeah.
And there's only so much organic work you can get before the line of organic work runs out.
Like, I'm sitting here now, I'm on like kind of the receiving end of what I'm preaching, because I mean, me and my other half are moving out recently, and obviously every penny counts. And I'm at the end now where I've got like a couple of small little jobs, but I'm sitting here. I know it sounds silly, but exactly what we just said. If I would have just chapped up people's doors, I might be in a completely different position now. Because I'd done a lovely driveway on Leon C, and I pressure washed it and all the rest of it, but every house next to it was rotten.
I think for you, what would be really, really good thing to do is have, because you've got like the cleaning side of stuff, so you'd have like 2 separate leaflets.
Yeah.
Have one for handyman stuff, and one for cleaning side. And then when you go to a handyman job, obviously they're not going to see anything that you've done inside. So all you'd do is, you wouldn't even necessarily need to knock, because you can't show them what you've done. But you could post a leaflet through and say, we've just done some work at number 22. If you're ever in need of any handyman work, let us know, and just do that with the 6 houses. And then the same thing when you do a driveway, but have it tailored towards the cleaning.
The cleaning, yeah.
And then it's more so. And a lot of people might think, well, why wouldn't you put all your services on the leaflet? And I think you can be too broad sometimes.
Mate, yeah, massively.
If you've cleaned a driveway, and then you're going, oh, do you want the driveway clean? But we also do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And they go, well, I've forgotten that the reason you knocked on the door in the first place, or I've forgotten what the leaflet was about. Just make it about the driveway you cleaned or the patio?
It's digressing ever so slightly into that, right? I'm going to tell you an interesting fact, right? And this is the God's honest truth.
Will be done.
I'll tell you an interesting fact now about that, and it follows on perfectly because you said about don't obviously tell a customer all of your services. Yeah. You know Swarovski necklaces and that. Mm-hmm. Do you know they also make rifle scopes?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that.
And
they used the glass, didn't they?
They used glass, yeah. And then when I was talking to someone about it, and he went, ultimately it's glass, Dan. Yeah. And he's dead right, yeah. And then another thing he said to me, I don't know how true this is, they make cat's eyes.
Yeah, they probably do.
Yeah, because ultimately it's another glass thing. But you would walk in, you would never know.
No, but they probably started off making rifle scopes.
And then
we're not making enough money, we need to diversify.
Probably when World War II ended and the call for rifles. Yeah. I mean, the scopes are incredible, Swarovski.
Yeah.
They are incredible. It is great. But yeah, it's interesting because a lot of people walk into places and they don't know.
No.
Do you know what I mean? There's a couple of weird companies like that do that.
Yeah, so I think when it comes to things like that, you've got to sell the service you're offering. Like, you can't knock on someone's door and go, do you need your driveway done? Do you need your windows cleaned? Do you want your roof cleaned? Do you want your soffit faces done? Do you want your gutters emptied? They're going to go,
whoa,
fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, you've overwhelmed me.
Yeah, if you mark it as like, do you need an exterior cleaner?
Yeah.
No, it makes a lot more sense.
Or you go, like, knock on the door, we're a local window cleaner. Do you want your windows cleaned? Cool. Sign them up. Next visit, did you know we also do these? Here's a brochure, here's a leaflet with everything we offer. If we can help you further, let us know. Or I've noticed your patio needs clean. We also offer that as a service. But I think when you're first signing someone up on a sale, you don't want to I don't do it, and maybe it's just my opinion. I think a lot of my bookings come over the phone now. So if I could imagine if I'm booking someone in over the phone and they're like, right, yeah, cool, booking for your patio or whatever. Oh, did you know we also do this and this and this and this? Like at the end of the call, I'd feel well overwhelmed if that was me.
It does scream a little bit desperado, doesn't it?
It just rubs me up the wrong way. I think it's not how I would want to be sold to. I would want to have that first initial job done and done well, and then be told. Me personally, I'll probably look into the company and see what other stuff they offer anyway. But if I wasn't someone who'd done that, I'd want to make sure I either got to know the person doing it, or made sure they'd done a good job of what I booked them to do in the first place.
Yeah.
And then be told, I've noticed that.
Actually, you offer this.
Yeah. Or I've seen some growth in your gutters when I was up on your flat roof. The rest of them probably blocked as well. We can do that for you. This much.
It's just a more chilled approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
And don't come across too desperate. Don't go steamrolling them. But it's good. It's good to get out and it's good to meet people and have that chat with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I built my business off the back of. So obviously I do the window cleaning. So for me that's regular and it's easy to get a customer window cleaning because it's a low spend. So getting someone to spend 200 to 300 quid cleaning their driveway is harder than getting someone to spend 20 to 30 quid having their windows cleaned. Even though over the year it's the same value, it's easier to get me. So I built my business off the back of talking to my customers and saying, oh, I noticed your driveway needs cleaning, we can quote for that. Or I noticed there's a lot of moss on your patio, that's because it's fallen off your roof, we can clean your roof. And that's how I built my business very quickly from day one to it's 2 years in.
See, that's always one thing that's always kind of intrigued me about window cleaning. And in a weird way, similar to estate agents, how they have, ultimately it's a collection of data, isn't it? You've got the data on all of your, not data as in what they do, but in terms of your window cleaning customers. You have to go walk up the front driveway, go into the back garden, clean windows, etc. like that, and you are just the perfect candidate for data, all for the exterior of their property. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I use window cleaning customers to grow.
Oh no, of course you do.
The other side of my business.
Totally. So this is where I'm noticing, a downfall on the maintenance side of things, and also a lot of the other side of things as well. If you can have a data a bank of data, i.e. customers, that are just regular like clockwork for small things, yeah? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like grass cutting. If you offered a cheap grass cutting service and then my foot's in the door then, and then when I'm there and they're like, oh, do you know someone that can cut that tree down? It's like, yeah, of course I do. I do. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because like you've got to wait for stuff to go wrong for them to call you, rather than it being a regular maintenance.
Totally.
But the other alternative to that is, and I think you've started doing it now, is collecting the data from your customers and then doing an email blast or a text blast.
Yeah.
So say it's spring. Have you let your garden grow over the winter? Do you want us to come in and do, one-off, blah, blah, blah? Overhanging trees, we can get them cut for you on a text blast, on an email blast, so that they start to know what you're doing. And then, like you say, you don't really have something that you offer actively that's regular, but maybe you should think about adding something in that's regular.
Yeah.
I say to everyone that reaches out to me, so I get that because of the YouTube and stuff, I get it a lot, where people are like starting up and they'll reach out with some questions. And it's always like the basic startup questions, but a lot of them want to just do pressure washing. They want to start a pressure washing company. And I say to them, I don't realistically think year 1 and 2, unless you've got the funds put aside to fund your lifestyle, it will pay for a year's worth of salary in year 1 and 2, unless like you've got some serious knowledge or some serious connections. And I think I advise all of them to find something regular, whether it be gardening, whether it be window cleaning, because I think it's a safety net. So like, I know if I get 0 jobs this month, my windows will pay the bills.
Yeah.
Barely, but
that's exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
I've kind of had to learn that the hard way. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like my industry and that, but I am definitely seeing it now. It's not so much like learning the hard way; it's learning. Do you know what I mean? And I've definitely seen it now, and it's like I feel like I'm not missing the boat, but I need to get on the boat. Do you understand?
You're still early days.
So I need to work out a way of getting on something like that, and like a regular occurrence thing. And also as well, it's like it's not. You're seeing people and you're building that relationship with them. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so your clientele is 130, right? So all of them realistically, well, let's say 70% of them have got a mum and a dad. Yeah. And then obviously a lot of them will have kids. Some will have older kids.
Yeah.
So now your 130 customers, potentially there's a direct reach now of say 300.
So I've got 500 customers.
Right.
Like I've got 130, 140 regular window cleaning customers. But then I've got 500 customers. Then this is for the life of the business. So from one-off customers and recommendations and stuff, there's 500.
There you go.
That has grown off of that.
And how often would you send out email blasts and text blasts to them?
I do it probably 3 or 4 times a year. It's not loads.
Just quarterly then.
I don't want to like overwhelm them with.
Yeah.
It would pain me internally if I got a text or a call from someone going, "Can you take me off your mailing list?"
Yeah, that would
upset me. So I just keep it. I don't need. It sound like I'm bragging, but I'm not. I don't need the work so desperately that I've got to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
I've got regular flow of inquiries coming in.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
But if I find I'm having a bit of a, so I've done that exactly in November. Sent out a text, and November and December were two of my busiest months last year.
Yeah, well, as a direct result of that text.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What was the text about?
The text was about soffit and fascia clean. I think I spoke about it before. But it was gutter emptying, and then it was whilst we're there, we can also team this with the soffit and fascia clean. And I think I had 2 or 3 grand's worth of work off the back of that. And I had a couple of roof cleans that time of year, so that's what boosted it. But
that's what I mean. It's the collection of data, really, isn't it? I mean, it does obviously help to have like the one-off jobs here and there and that, but it would be good to have that constantly. And you're in an industry where it needs renewing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like the gardening, isn't it? The grass is always going to grow, and the windows are always going to get dirty.
Yeah, definitely.
It's nice when people have this. So I don't do sealing. I don't agree with the concept of sealing. I don't think it's necessary. There's a place for it, but I think I'd done a job today where she texted me and she said, "Oh, can you clean and seal our driveway and patio?" And it's they're sort of like a family friend, sort of. And I said, "I don't do sealing." But
what do you mean, sort of? Like the family like them, but you don't?
No, they're like, they own a restaurant that Zoe's family used to go to quite a lot.
Right.
So, and she went to school with her son. Zoe worked there for a little while when she was younger. So they're like not
intertwined, yeah.
Yeah, they're intertwined, yeah. And I said, "Oh, I don't do the sealing, but I'm happy to clean it for you." I said, I gave her my reasons for not doing the sealing, and she said, "Hang on."
Is that what she said?
Fucking hell, that was a weird sound, isn't it? She said, "Yeah, cool. I completely understand. Go with it. Go ahead with the clean." And whoever cleaned it last time had sealed the back, but not the front, for some reason. It's all block paving, but they'd sealed the patio, but not the driveway. So I've done the driveway first, and I thought, brilliant, no issues. Got to the back, sealant was like they'd glooped it in some places, so there was like all these there's like greeny, yellowy spots. It wasn't litching, it was definitely sealant. It had all failed around the edges. So
what a mess, mate. Just don't use it. I think it's useless.
Just looked horrible.
Yeah.
And like my biggest bugbear is when people seal block paving, and I think it's meant to be permeable. Water is meant to flow through. That's the whole concept behind block paving, is so the water can flow through it. Otherwise, you might as well just concreted it.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, why are you sealing it in the first place? Then I kind of understand why you'd seal concrete. So I think it's helped stop it from cracking, I think. And like, if you get an oil stain on concrete, you can't take some blocks out and change them. Like, it's there. So I kind of understand why you'd seal concrete or like porcelain. But even then, I just think like, you might as well just have it cleaned once a year. For like, the cost of sealing nowadays is like double the clean.
Mate, it's massive.
2 years cleaning,
yeah.
And then like, it's just so much can go wrong. Like every time I see someone that's had their driveway sealed, it's failed.
Really?
Yeah, there's a house on the main road, like not far from here, and I see him sealing it last summer. Taped it all off. It looks like a professional job. And you look at it now, it's like fucking ocean. It's all wavy. And
really?
And like white. It's like white in places where it's failed.
Do you know that's the UV damage?
No, it's just where the sealant's failed. It's not set properly. So either he didn't let it dry out properly and it's trapped moisture underneath the sealant, or I don't do it, so I don't know enough about it. But it's just, I know it's easy to fuck up and hard to rectify. Right, the woman opposite me, she's got imprinted concrete, right? For some unknown reason, she had that sealed, but where the sealant sits on the imprinted concrete now,
it's now flat.
The water don't flow, so when it rains, she just gets this like puddle on her driveway, and she's out there. She's got to be nearly 80. She's out there with a squeegee, squeeging it off, and she's a bit of an arsehole, so I don't help her out. But if she was nicer to me, I would have gone and done it for her.
How thick is this sealant they're putting on? It sounds like
it's not very thick, but like, because it's imprinted concrete,
it's
so
not deep grooves anyway.
And it's obviously, you can't sort of spread it out. Once it's in the crack, you've either got to get your finger in it,
I see,
and smooth it out. But where that's not happened, it's obviously sitting in the cracks. And
she's definitely been sold that, ain't she? There's no way an old bird rung someone up and said, "Oh, can you seal my concrete?"
Absolutely. The guy, he's done a few down our road, but like on block paving, there's not so big of a gap. So when you seal it, the water tends to still run off.
Yeah.
Because it's imprinted concrete, the gap's a little bit bigger. It's not good, man. It's just not good. But
right, should we leave it there?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, listen. Thanks for joining us for another episode.
How long have we done? 35. Yeah. It's a good amount of time, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks everyone for joining us for another episode. Episode next week is 31, and is it a big one? Is it a special one?
We've got a special guest coming.
We have another guest.
Hopefully,
yeah. Is he unreliable?
Yeah, well, I waited 3 weeks for him to drop off my hypo, so yeah.
Oh, sort it out, big man.
Which I'll be talking about.
Sort it out, big man. It's an interesting, should we say, the job.
You can do it. He'll be on eventually, whether it's next week or
whether
not.
Whether it's next week or not. Oh, I've just had my finger over the microphone. It's
That's good. It sounds like you're underwater.
yeah.
Which goes on nicely because our next week's guest could be
underwater because
underwater.
you just said
He's
it's
a fucking pool cleaner.
That's
you
what I was
cunt.
going to say. Why did you say?
Underwater.
What did you want me to
I said
say?
it sounds like you was underwater then, which comes on nicely because next week's guest is a
Pool cleaner.
underwater.
I
What
thought
the
you
fuck's
said-
wrong with you?
He's a pool cleaner, and he's going to come down and talk to us all about cleaning pools. Funny enough.
Well, cleaning pools, chemicals. He sells chemicals. Sells hypo. So cleaning pools, chemicals. He's been in business a long time.
Yeah.
Longer than us.
Put together.
I feel like we could help him. Well, he's been in this business longer than we've been in this business. He hasn't been in business longer than me because
Oh, because you're the god, mate.
I'm a
yeah.
fucking Donny,
Yeah.
lad.
But no, listen, it's going to be a good episode. Next one, hopefully, he comes down. Thanks everyone for the ongoing support, and remember,
Mate, do you want to keep clicking that?
stay
Cleaning!